Welcome to Martini Time. This is the last Jedi Knight speaking to you from my cave. Let me turn on the lights. All right. Hold on. There we are. Did you like I got this lightsaber for my birthday, and then we went to see The Last Jedi, and somebody gave me a couple of magazines about The Last Jedi, and last night I gave a talk that kind of like fits into my life story. So let me take this off. Ooh, that's hot. And last night's talk was a flurry of The Last Jedi. I talked about wanting to be of service. I wanted to have a course. I wanted to have some way to package myself so I could dispense myself to a lot of people in a package, you see, that might get a little money back and help people and do all those good things, but it would be a package, and I would be packaging the Jedi Knight, you see, in the sense that this is mythological or metaphorical, but the Jedi Knight is for me, it's a spiritual ego. And so I wanted to package that. I wanted to watch the webinar on how to build a course, so I could package my knighthood. Dispense benevolence, grace to the world, you see. And so the problem with that is that I didn't feel very spontaneous, you see. When you package yourself, you lose your authenticity. You become a product that you want to sell, you see. And you have something people want, so you sell that, you see. And that's what it was all about. And I just didn't, I felt like, oh, I should do this. It was something that, a yearning to do this, you see. And a yearning to get some, to be somebody. A yearning to be special. A yearning to be recognized. A yearning to be productive. A yearning to do something, you see. And so this snowstorm comes up in my life often. It used to be I would spend, years and huge investments, products, courses, things that I've created, you see, kites that I've flown. And always the kite doesn't stay up. The wind doesn't hold. It wasn't the right design. Wrong time, whatever, you see. But it comes up, you see, this yearning to fly another kite. And yesterday there was a yearning to fly another kite, Oh, I'd have a course on the internet. That sounded good, you see. I packaged myself. So, anyway, it just went poof. I did the talk last night. Oh, excuse me. I did the talk, and basically the talk was, can somebody tell me what to do and how to package myself? Because I don't know, you see. And so then I remembered back in 1968, I wrote about this morning, and I'd had a huge awakening in 1968. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, where you just stumble, fall into it, wake up in it, and you don't know what happened to you. Kind of like Eckhart Tolle, in that sense. It happened to me, and I didn't know what was going on. And I remember going up to the Swannanoa, which was a mountain, and I posted it on my wall this morning. Swannanoa was the home of Walter Russell, who had died. He was a Renaissance man, and his wife Leah, Princess Leia. Princess Leia she was there. And so I went up there, and she was teaching. She's a big meditation, came down in her robes, And I remember going to see this goddess and telling her, what should I do? And she looks at me and she says, well, if you don't know what to do, don't do anything. And she left. And so that, sometimes you get a mantra like that. Sometimes you get a truth in your life, and it keeps releasing itself in a time release or wisdom release capsule. It comes back to you. Don't do anything. And that, you see, but here's the thing is that you think, well, I have to do something. I have to make some course. I got to get some job. I got to get some project. I got to do something. I can't just sit there. You see, don't do anything. And we don't understand that not doing anything is doing something. Not doing anything is active. It is doing something. But this is in the Gita. I was always fascinated in the Bhagavad Gita by finding the inaction in action. And this is Zen, finding the inaction in action, finding the doing in the not doing, you see. And we don't want to look there because you either do something or you don't do something. But how can you get to doing in the not doing? That's ambiguous. That's a paradox. That's an enigma. How can I do something by not doing something? But, you see, when I realized that yesterday's talk was a snow flurry from an old snowstorm that's been filling up my life with drifts, causing me to drift, you see, from one snowstorm to the next, always with the same recurring theme. You need to be somebody. You see, you have to have a meaning in your life, a purpose. You have to be somebody. You can't just do nothing, you see. And so, anyway, this was, fortunately, the snow flurry only lasted yesterday. It has lasted years in my life, you see. And it's interesting how these karmic snowstorms begin with huge blizzards and they take years to get out of, sometimes a whole lifetime. But as you progress in doing nothing, the snowstorms get smaller and smaller too, like just a little flurry. And I recognize that flurry as, wow, that used to be a big snowstorm. I used to get buried in the drifts of this snowstorm, and now it was just a little snow flurry. It just melted on my tongue, you see. So how do you you can't package your authenticity. You can't box and wrap your true nature. You can't put yourself in a Pez dispensary and click yourself out to people, you see, so they can taste your specialness, you see. You can't box and package your authenticity. So that was looking back at The Last Jedi. Luke Skywalker was reluctant to go back and be a Jedi Knight again. He was done with it. He was done with the whole thing. He was done with being a Jedi Knight. Left it all, you see. So in that sense, using the Jedi Knight as a metaphor, for me, we all have to find the metaphors that work for us. We all have to create the metaphors that work for you. That way they're living metaphors and not somebody else's metaphors. So I put down the need to be a Jedi Knight. You see, I let it go. I don't need to be a Jedi Knight. I don't need a course. I don't need to package myself, you see. I don't need anything, actually. You see. So all I need is a martini time and a chance to chat with you in the afternoon at happy hour. And to write on my Facebook page with my authenticity, with my freedom. And let my fingers do the walking and the talking. Who am I to tell them what to do, you see? My fingers are free. And when I come here at FaceTime Live, my martini time, I'm free. I don't need to package anything. So anyway, thanks for dropping in. And may the Force be with you.